Good morning. In this video, we will look at the first half of chapter number 3 of history, ruling the countryside. Before starting this chapter, we will recap that in the chapter number 2, from trade to territory, we saw that in the year 1765, right after the Battle of Buxar, in 64, the East India Company got the Diwani rights. They were given the Diwani rights. They were given the Diwani rights by the Mughal emperor at that time, and Diwani rights were given for Bengal. Now the Bengal in olden days was different than the Bengal we see today. In the olden days, the Bengal consisted of modern day West Bengal, modern day Bangladesh, parts of Odisha, and Bihar and Jharkhand also. So all this territory consisted of West Bengal, Bangladesh, Odisha, Bihar and Jharkhand. They were collectively called Bengal by the British. So they were given Diwani rights by the Mughal emperor for the state Bengal. Now what do you mean by Diwani? Diwani right means the right to collect tax. Diwani means it is the right to collect taxes. Mainly within the taxes it is land revenue. So for the state of Bengal, after 1765, the British East India Company were the prominent authority to decide how tax will be collected, who will collect the tax, and this power was the power of Diwani rights, and Diwani rights were given to them by the Mughal emperor after the Battle of Buxar 1764. Now the main aim of the British after assuming the Diwani right was to get revenue. Revenue here means money. To get the revenue for its operations in the country. So for all the operations it needed revenue. This revenue will help fund the army, it will fund the trade, it will fund the salaries of all the officers that are working for the East India companies. So the main aim after getting Diwani rights was to get revenue, so that to say that उनका बंगाल में जो भी ऑपरेशंस थे ऑल ओवर इंडिया उसका खर्चा निकल सके. वो खर्चे के पैसे कैसे मिलेंगे उन लोगों को? दे विल गेट दैट रेवेन्यू, दे विल गेट दैट मनी फ्रॉम द टैक्स कलेक्टेड फ्रॉम बंगाल after the assumption of Diwani rights. Second thing which their aim was, after all they were a company, they were a trading company, so they wanted that their products should be sold. So they can implement laws which will be beneficial for their products to be sold. For example, they can impose high tax on Indian products, so that people will not buy Indian products because it will get very very costly for them. अगर किसी इंडियन ने कोई चीज़ बनाई है एंड उस चीज़ पे ब्रिटिश अगर बहुत ज़्यादा टैक्स कलेक्ट कर देते तो वो चीज़ महंगी हो जाती है, तो फिर लोग इंडियन प्रोडक्ट नहीं खरीदेंगे. देन दे विल बाय द ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी और द ब्रिटिश प्रोडक्ट. Thirdly, they wanted to control the population. Now that they were ruling, they wanted to control the local population. How to control the local population? It was their aim to control the local population through imposing such rules in which the higher caste people will be collecting taxes from lower caste people, so that higher caste people जो हैं वो ब्रिटिश के पसंदीदा रहें and they continue to control the large masses in the state of Bengal. And lastly, they also wanted to produce raw materials. So the raw materials will be produced here in Bengal. They will force the farmers, or they will encourage the farmers to grow crops which will provide raw materials. These raw materials can then go to Britain and they can be converted into finished products. So their main aim was there were four main aims, and the first primary aim was to generate revenue, to generate money, so that the army, the trade, the salaries of the employees working for the East India Company could be managed. Now they did not need to get money from England. They can collect tax from Bengal itself एंड उसी से वो लोग सैलरी पे कर सकते थे. अब उनको इंग्लैंड से पैसे की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती. सेकेंडली, द प्रोडक्ट्स दे वर सेलिंग, they wanted to promote the products they were selling, so they will impose high taxes on Indian products, which will lead to people buying less of Indian products and more of British products. And they also wanted to get raw materials for their industries. So we will see in the second half of this chapter, in the next video, how did they encourage the people, the farmers of Bengal, to grow only those crops which provided raw materials. Now there were other problems, and the main problem for the British was their role in all of this. Their role was mainly, what they thought was that they were mainly traders. They were mainly traders meaning they were mainly businessmen. उन लोगों को रूल करने का बिल्कुल मन नहीं था. They did not want to rule, they only wanted to trade, they only wanted profit. They did not want to set up a system that would collect tax. They were unwilling to set up a system of collecting taxes. उनका आप कह सकते हैं कि वो बहुत आलसी थे. They did not want to set up a system जिसके अंदर वो लोग टैक्स कलेक्ट करें. So they did not want a system, they did not wanted to set up a system so that they can collect taxes. They did not want to go through that hard work. They were only thinking of trading. Their main aim was profit, to get revenue, and that their products could be sold. And if they could get some raw materials. They did not want to rule the country. They did not want to rule the area. They did not want to set up a new tax system. They did not want to set up officers. They did not want to set up all that. They only wanted the money, the profit from the area. They also wanted more raw materials. They wanted raw materials for their industries. Since they were collecting taxes, now they can force the people, they can encourage the people to grow what they want. So they wanted raw materials. They wanted only profit, raw materials. They did not want to set up a system of how to collect taxes. Now all this had some effect on Bengal. It had a very bad effect on Bengal. What was the effect of this laziness on part of the British? Now after the assumption of Diwani rights, since British officials, the East India Company officials, were not implementing a good system of collecting taxes, there were a lot of effects for Bengal. Now what were the effects? Number one effect was that the artisans of Bengal were forced to leave. They were leaving the villages. Why they were leaving the villages? Because of high taxes imposed on them. High taxes imposed by the British, so that Indian people do not buy from them, they buy from the East India Company. So they were imposed high taxes on the artisans, and these artisans were now leaving the villages, going to towns or going to cities to find new work. So artisans were leaving the villages. Secondly, the high tax. अब ये लोग काफ़ी लालची थे, so they were imposing high taxes. Now this high taxes caused problems on the farmers. The farmers had to pay this high tax, and they were not able to pay these high taxes. So there was a burden of high tax on the peasants, on the farmers, which had to pay high taxes. This resulted in low cultivation, so the farmers were now not able to grow a lot of crops. उनके पास जितनी ज़मीन थी वो सब पे क्रॉप सही से उगा नहीं पा रहे थे. क्यों नहीं उगा पा रहे थे? क्योंकि जितना ज़्यादा उनके ऊपर एक तो काफ़ी ज़्यादा टैक्स था, एंड दूसरी तरफ ब्रिटिश की तरफ से कोई हेल्प भी नहीं थी. और जो टैक्स नहीं भर पा रहे थे, द पीपल हु वर नॉट एबल टू पे टैक्स, उनकी जो लैंड थी वो भी ले ली जा रही थी. सो इफ़ द ब्रिटिश टेक द लैंड ऑफ अ फार्मर हु कुड नॉट पे टैक्स, then on that piece of land there will be no cultivation. So throughout Bengal the cultivation declined. The amount of food grains that the Bengal peasants were producing declined steadily. After that, in the year 1770 there was no rain, very low rainfall in Bengal, which caused a famine. Famine means भुखमरी. So in 1717 due to low rainfall, already there was low cultivation, ऊपर से बारिश भी नहीं हुई, so there was a shortage of food crops. Shortage of food crops led to a famine. In this famine, almost 10 million people died. 10 million people died. Now 1 million people is equal to 10 lakh, so 10 million is equal to almost 1 crore. So 1 crore people in Bengal died in the year 1770 due to famine. This amounted to 1/3 of the total population of Bengal. That means 1770 की famine की वजह से 3 में से 1 आदमी बंगाल का मर गया था भुखमरी की वजह से, famine की वजह से. So this was a major problem which came, and the main culprit, the main reason for all this was the British. The main reason for all this was the British policy. वो लोग lazy हो रहे थे. They were not providing a good system in which peasants and artisans could flourish. So this led to the famine of 1770. So obviously after this steps had to be taken, and the steps were taken, and the first step that came was the permanent settlement. The first step that they took was the permanent settlement. Now the permanent settlement was imposed in Bengal. It was started from the year 1793. From the year 1793 it was set up, so we can also call it the permanent settlement of 1793. Now the permanent settlement, in this, the problem was that there was no one to encourage the farmers to grow the crops. So in this permanent settlement, what the British planned was that there will be farmers and there will be the East India Company, the British. Now the British will not directly collect tax from the farmers. What they will do is they will appoint a zamindar. So a zamindar will be there. Now the role of the zamindar is to collect tax from the farmer minus his own profit, his own amount, let's say it is X, and pay the rest of the amount, that is tax minus that X amount, whichever what the zamindar wants to earn, and pay that tax to the East India Company. So the company will not directly collect tax from the farmer. The company will only collect tax through the zamindar. Now what they did was they fixed the tax. They said कि the tax जो होगा, जो farmers को देना होगा, वो fix होगा, वो change नहीं होगा. There will be no change in the tax. ऐसा क्यों बोला उन्होंने? Why there will be no change? They wanted कि जो ये ज़मींदार है ना, this ज़मींदार, he should invest. He should invest money in the farmers. Why should he invest money? Let's say पहले फार्मर 100 रुपये कमाता था, ठीक है, और ज़मींदार की कमाई होती थी ₹10, और बाकी जो 90 रुपीज़ थे वो टैक्स जाता था किसको? ब्रिटिश को. Now if the ज़मींदार helps the farmer और इसकी जो पैदावार है वो ₹150 हो जाती है, तो आप देखिए 90 रुपीज़ तो टैक्स जाना है बिकॉज इट इज़ फिक्स्ड। बट 150 में से 90 जब चला जाएगा तो जो बाकी के 60 रुपीज़ बचेंगे, दैट विल बी द प्रॉफिट ऑफ द ज़मींदार। सो ज़मींदार का प्रॉफिट बढ़ सकता था अगर ज़मींदार फार्मर्स की हेल्प करे। द ब्रिटिश वर प्लानिंग दैट द ज़मींदार्स should help the farmers, should invest more money in the farmland so that the farmers produce more, and since the tax is fixed, the rest of the money will go to the zamindar. So zamindar should invest more money so that he could earn more money by collecting taxes. If the zamindar does not pay tax, if the zamindar is not able to collect tax and it's is not able to pay tax, then he will be removed. If zamindar does not pay tax, he will be removed from the post. जब वो ज़मींदारी से हटा दिया जाएगा तब there will be a fresh auction for the ज़मींदारी. For example, let us say there is a village Bagana, and all the farmers of the Bagana village have to pay tax to Mr. A. Mr. A is the zamindar of Bagana village. Now, if he is not able to pay tax, then he will be removed. Once he is removed, the zamindari of Bagana will be auctioned. It will be auctioned, and let's say Mr. X, Mr. Y and Mr. Z, these three people will come और ये लोग बोली लगाएंगे किस चीज़ के लिए? For the ज़मींदारी rights of the village Bhagana. So they will auction, there will be an auction and they will bid for the post of ज़मींदारी for the village Bhagana. Let's say Mr. X wins the bid, so he will be appointed zamindar of Bhagana village. If he is not able to pay tax, if he is not able to collect the tax, then he will also be removed and some other person will be given the zamindari. So this was basically the zamindari system or the permanent settlement. Permanent settlement and or the zamindari system is the same thing. So permanent settlement or the zamindari system was this, that there will be fixed tax. Why will be there a fixed tax? There will be fixed tax so that the zamindars could invest money. Their main aim from the British to fix tax was so that zamindar will invest money and there will be more production in those villages. Once there is more production, it will lead to a regular income. It will be a regular income. मतलब हर महीने हर साल ब्रिटिश के पास रेगुलर इनकम आती रहेगी, उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी टैक्स कलेक्ट करने में. एंड सेकेंडली दे themselves are not collecting tax. They do not have to create a system to collect tax. They have the zamindars to do that for them. So this was the system of permanent settlement or the zamindari system. Now the problems with this system came very quickly. There were a lot of problems with this system. Number one, if the British were lazy, the zamindars were also very lazy, and the zamindars did not invest at all in the farmers. They did not invest at all. पहले हम लोगों ने देखा कैसे British were lazy to set up a system to collect tax. Even the zamindars were very lazy. They did not want to invest the money or the time in the farm, and they were not investing any money. Secondly, बहुत सारे ज़मींदार्स टैक्स ही पे नहीं कर पाए. There were a lot of ज़मींदार्स who could not pay tax. If they could not pay tax, their ज़मींदारी was abolished. They were removed as ज़मींदार्स. और बहुत सारी ऑप्शंस ज़मींदारी की हुई. जहाँ पे अच्छे से टैक्स कलेक्ट हो रहा था वहाँ पे क्या हो गया था, मार्केट रेट इंक्रीज़ हो गया था. जो क्रॉप्स थे उनके मार्केट रेट इंक्रीज़ हो गए थे, तो जो ज़मींदार थे वो बिना लैंड में इन्वेस्ट किए अच्छा प्रॉफिट ले पा रहे थे, और ब्रिटिश को वो प्रॉफिट मिल नहीं रहा था क्योंकि फिक्स था रेट। मार्केट रेट बढ़ने की वजह से प्रोडक्शन बढ़ रही थी, बट वो सारा फ़ायदा ज़मींदार को बैठे बैठे मिल रहा था, ब्रिटिश को उसका फ़ायदा नहीं मिल रहा था। सो these three problems were faced by the permanent settlement, and after this it was made sure that we would have to come up with a new system. So after the failure of this permanent settlement or the zamindari system, the British decided to come up with two other new systems, and these two new systems were implemented in different parts of the country. जैसे हम लोगों ने देखा ज़मींदारी सिस्टम बंगाल में लगाया गया था, similarly the other two systems were imposed in different parts of the country, not in Bengal, they were imposed in other parts of the country. The first of those were महलवाड़ी system. The महलवाड़ी system ये कहाँ पे लगाया गया था? ये लगाया गया था यूपी में. It was इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन ईस्टर्न यूपी, वाराणसी के आसपास इस जगह पे महलवाड़ी सिस्टम लगाया गया था. महलवाड़ी सिस्टम किसने डेवलप किया था? इट वाज डेवलप्ड बाय अ पर्सन नेम्ड होल्ट मैकेंजी. होल्ट मैकेंजी, very important name. Holt Mackenzie developed the Mehelwadi system. In this system, it was very similar to the permanent settlement. In this system, there will be a village, a complete village, and this village will be called a Mahal, and the village will have a fixed amount of tax. तो एक कलेक्टर होगा, ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर, वो आएगा इस विलेज में, वो बोलेगा ठीक है ये विलेज इतना बड़ा है, इट हैज़ टू पे लेट्स से 1000 रुपीज़ ऑफ टैक्स पर ईयर. नाउ द विलेज कलेक्टिवली, सारे विलेज के फार्मर्स हैं, सबको मिलके कितने रुपीज़ कलेक्ट करने हैं? 1000 रुपीज़ कलेक्ट करने हैं. दे हैव टू कलेक्ट 1000 रुपी टैक्स, एंड इट हैज़ टू बी कलेक्टेड बाय वन पर्सन विच विल बी द हेडमैन ऑफ द विलेज. जो सबसे बुजुर्ग या जो सबसे बड़े उस विलेज के होंगे, द हेडमैन, he will collect the tax on behalf of the British, and he will pay this tax to whom? The East India Company, the British. So the village headman will collect the tax for a complete village collectively. It means कि कोई अगर एक फार्मर पे नहीं कर पाता तो दूसरा फार्मर उसकी हेल्प कर देगा. तो एक विलेज, एक महल अपने लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. हम ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी डज नॉट वांट या इट डज नॉट केयर कि कौन से फार्मर ने टैक्स भरा, कौन से फार्मर ने टैक्स नहीं भरा. उनको पूरे विलेज से 1000 रुपये आने चाहिए. दे ओनली वर इंटरेस्टेड इन द 1000 रुपीज़ विच वुड कम फ्रॉम अ पर्टिकुलर विलेज. दिस विलेज विल बी कॉल्ड अ महल. दैट इज़ वाई दिस सिस्टम वॉज कॉल्ड अ महलवाड़ी सिस्टम. एंड इसके अंदर टैक्स वर नॉट फिक्स, द टैक्सेस वर नॉट फिक्स्ड. जैसे परमानेंट सेटलमेंट हमने देखा टैक्स फिक्स कर रखा था, इसमें टैक्स फिक्स नहीं किया था. इट विल बी चेंज्ड आफ्टर सम टाइम. तो हर थोड़ी दिनों में, हर 5-10 सालों में इस टैक्स को चेंज कर दिया जाता था. दिस सिस्टम वॉज कॉल्ड द महलवाड़ी सिस्टम. सिमिलरली इसी टाइम इन साउथ इंडिया देयर वाज अ न्यू सिस्टम. नाउ इन साउथ इंडिया द प्रॉब्लम वॉज दैट देयर वर लार्ज नंबर ऑफ peasants, large number of farmers who owned large pieces of land. So there were large farmers, big farmers, large land, and these farmers owned very large amounts of land, which was not the case in Bengal. So in South India, the East India Company directly made a deal with the farmers. The East India Company in South India made directly a deal with the farmers. Once they made the deal with the farmers, this led to a sort of contract between the farmers and the East India Company. Now the farmers in those areas were called Rayat. Farmers को क्या कहा जाता था? Rayat. And so this system became Rayatwadi system. Rayatwadi system में क्या होता था? East India Company will have a direct relationship with the large land owning farmers of South India, they will directly collect taxes from them. बीच में कोई ज़मींदार या कोई विलेज हेडमैन या कोई वो नहीं आएगा, it will be collected directly. Now this system was implemented. this system, ये जो सिस्टम था ये सबसे पहले कौन लेके आया था? सबसे पहले लेके आए थे अलेक्जेंडर रीड. It was first brought up by Alexander Reed, but it was later developed by a very famous person who you should remember, Thomas Munro. So Thomas Munro and Alexander Reed are mainly credited with the Rayatwadi system. So these two systems, the Mehelwadi system and the Rayatwadi system. Mehelwadi system कहाँ पे लेके आए? यूपी में लेके आए. एक विलेज पूरा टैक्स अपना हेडमैन के थ्रू कंपनी को देगा, और रायतवाड़ी में डायरेक्टली फार्मर्स ही डील करेंगे सीधा कंपनी के साथ, बीच में कोई हेडमैन ज़मींदार कुछ नहीं होगा. दीज टू सिस्टम्स वर डेवलप्ड आफ्टर द फेलियर ऑफ द परमानेंट सेटलमेंट. परमानेंट सेटलमेंट फिर भी बंगाल में चलता रहा काफ़ी सालों तक, बट इन अदर पार्ट्स देर वॉज सेंस ऑफ अर्जेंसी ऑन द साइड ऑफ द ब्रिटिश टू डेवलप न्यू सिस्टम्स टू कलेक्ट लैंड रेवेन्यू. नाउ ऑल वॉज नॉट वेल, ऑल वॉज नॉट वेल. ये जो दो सिस्टम थे ये भी बहुत अच्छे नहीं थे. these systems were also not very good या very successful. Why were they not successful? They were not successful mainly due to the greed of the British. जो ब्रिटिश का लालच था उसकी वजह से ये सिस्टम्स भी फेल होते गए. ग्रीड ऑफ द ब्रिटिश कहाँ दिखाई देता था? दे वुड रेज टैक्सेस पीरियोडिकली. टैक्स को बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ाते रहते थे वो लोग, एंड जिसकी वजह से क्या होता था कि जो फार्मर्स थे उन पे बहुत ज़्यादा लोड पड़ता था, लोड ऑन फार्मर्स टू पे टैक्सेस. सो दिस हाई टैक्स ऑफ द ब्रिटिश led to neither of these systems being very successful. The farmers इन तीनों एरियाज़ में बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान थे. किस चीज़ से परेशान थे? मेनली लैंड रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करने के मेथड्स से बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान थे. दे वर वेरी वेरी unhappy with the system of land revenue collection that was imposed by the British, mainly because of the high taxes that was imposed. High taxes imposed by the British. High taxes क्यों impose किए गए थे? Because of the greed of the British. So main reason why all these systems failed were the greed of the British. Now in the second video we will look at how the British encouraged or forced the farmers to grow a particular crop which would act as a raw material. We'll be taking the case of indigo and how people protested against indigo farming in the next video, in the next half of this chapter.